The Teamsters represent nearly 8,000 workers at Republic Waste Services, and the union says the company provoked the strike by not settling a fair contract with its members.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Let's go ahead and get to last week in Southern labor. Here's what workers in the U.S. South and the American colonies were up to from July 5th to the 12th in new union campaigns. 7 workers at Velocity Electric and Automation in Grain Valley, Missouri, filed a petition to hold a union election with the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, IBEW, Local 124. 6 security guards at MTAC in Lorton, Virginia, filed a petition to hold a union election with Union Rights for Security Officers. 5 workers at Atos Systems in Merritt Island, Florida, filed a petition to hold a union election with IBEW Local 2088. 7 workers at Engineering Support Personnel in Naval Air Station, Texas, filed a petition to hold a union election with the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, IAMAW. Some security guards among the 25 at Walden Security in Chattanooga, Tennessee, filed a petition to decertify the URSO. Workers likely pushed by their employer filed a petition to decertify the Utility Workers Union of America, UWUA, Local 335, as the union representing 27 workers at American Water, MSG, at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. 37 workers at Tulane University in New Orleans, Louisiana, filed a petition to hold a union election with Workers United. 12 security guards at Triple Canopy, a Constellus company in Herndon, Virginia, filed a petition to hold a union election with Protective Service Officers United. Workers likely pushed by their employer and with help from the National Right to Work Foundation filed a petition to decertify the Teamsters Local 385 as the union representing 40 workers at Imperial Dade in Orlando, Florida. 6 workers at Equipment Share in Grain Valley, Missouri, filed a petition to hold a union election with the International Union of Operating Engineers, IUOE, Local 101S. In campaign updates, Navistar/International Motors in Huntsville, Alabama, after workers submitted a petition to hold a union election, offered up similar arguments that SpaceX and others have put forward, saying that regional directors of the NLRB don't have the authority to hold elections when the board is without a quorum. The regional director rejected that argument and scheduled the election for August 7th. In union election results, 9 workers at Amentum in Corpus Christi, Texas, withdrew their petition for a union election with the IAMAW. 17 workers at Starbucks in Ridgeland, Mississippi, voted 14-0 in favor of unionization with Starbucks Workers United, as did 19 at another location in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, voting 14-1. 20 workers at UNFI in Pompano Beach, Florida, voted 15-4 in favor of unionization with the Teamsters Local 769. 21 workers at High Profile Columbia in Columbia, Missouri, withdrew their petition for a union election with the United Food and Commercial Workers, UFCW, Local 655, and 741 workers at Brilliant Corporation in Lee's Summit, Missouri, voted 236-395 against unionization with the IAMAW Local 778. In grievances, unfair labor practices, and court cases, the Supreme Court granted a stay which will allow the Trump administration to move forward with some of its layoffs while the case is decided on its merits. The American Federation of Government Employees, AFGE, said in a statement, "This decision does not change the simple and clear fact that reorganizing government functions and laying off federal workers en masse haphazardly without any congressional approval is not allowed by our Constitution. While we are disappointed in this decision, we will continue to fight on behalf of the communities we represent and argue this case to protect critical public services that we rely on to stay safe and healthy." The AFL-CIO also condemned the decision, as did other federal employee unions. In strikes and bargaining updates, even as the Supreme Court granted Trump a win on a layoffs case, the Veterans Affairs Department announced that it is scrapping its proposal to fire 80,000 workers. AFGE celebrated the move, saying that because AFGE members across the country raised our voices, built coalitions, and took action, the plan was stopped in its tracks. Hey, 5 seconds. Just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate. the Teamsters have begun and expanded a strike against Republic Waste Services nationwide, including in Georgia. The union now says 2,000 of its members are on strike nationwide. The Teamsters represent nearly 8,000 workers at Republic Waste Services, and the union says the company provoked the strike by not settling a fair contract with its members. Teamsters General President Sean O'Brien held a town hall where he addressed UPS members regarding the company's proposed buyout plans. The union holds that the plan is a violation of the collective bargaining agreement because of the company's agreement to create, not cut, tens of thousands of jobs. While the union fights the plan, the union is encouraging members to reject the buyout plan, tell management to take a hike, and to file a grievance over the rollout of the plan. Workers at GE Aerospace, unionized with IUE CWA nationwide, ratified a new 4-year contract that includes a 17% raise over the life of the contract, along with pension and 401k protections, improved leave policies, and more. 95% of members voting at the American Postal Workers Union, APWU, ratified their new contract with the Postal Service, voting 34,867 for and 1,863 against. As a reminder, the contract looks pretty similar to the letter carrier's contract in terms of wages, but job protections are much better, with everyone hired before September 2024 being protected from any layoffs and maintaining a full cost of living adjustment, which none of the other postal unions have. RWDSU/UFCW members who work at Borden dairy plants in Chattanooga and Knoxville, Tennessee, recently ratified a new contract. The union says that the 3-year contract includes the highest ever wage increases at the dairy, front-loaded, and 2 additional annual paid holidays. Forbes has a story out about AI and misinformation among flight attendants as members of the AFA, the American Flight Attendants Association, vote on their new contract with United Airlines. The article points to several purported criticisms of the contract that are either literally completely made up or exactly the opposite of the truth. In political and legislative updates, Missouri's governor signed into law the repeal of paid sick leave that was approved by nearly 60% of the voting public in a referendum last year, as well as connecting the minimum wage to inflation. Both of those were part of one ballot measure. The Alabama Reflector has a report out about how hospitals are scrambling to cover funding losses that are soon to come from Medicaid cuts. The American Federation of School Administrators, AFSA, released a statement condemning the Trump administration's withholding of billions of dollars of approved funds for schools across the country. They say in their statement that with just weeks before students return to classrooms, school districts and state education agencies are finalizing their plans for the new school year. This abrupt and unexplained funding delay has thrown those preparations and their budgets into disarray. Districts are being forced to slash programs, freeze contracts, and halt hiring. School leaders now face the impossible task of opening schools without knowing whether the federal funds they relied on will arrive or when. The Guardian has new reporting detailing how some employers of undocumented immigrants have cut pay for their workers following Trump's ramping up of immigration raids because it has given them increased leverage over their undocumented workers. In internal union affairs, the American Federation of Teachers, AFT, has controversially launched a National Academy for AI Instruction with Microsoft, OpenAI, and Anthropic. If we missed anything, let us know about your union updates at tvlr.fm/contact. Would love to hear about them. You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.